What's good? What's good? Once again, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to World Combat Sports. Yeah, I just dropped off, but I had to return due to the news is out. Nothing official on the side of Errol Spence. All right. And I usually stick to what I know and wait. But from what I'm hearing is that Manny Pacquiao 2 hours ago, while I was live, he basically put this out. He dropped a post of Pacquiao versus Spence August 21st, 2021. Pacquiao versus Spence August 21st, 2021, Las Vegas. This is what Manny Pacquiao has released to a potential teaser for Errol Spence Jr. fight. Now, if you don't know, Manny Pacquiao is currently in WBA recess. He was the full champion. And, due to inactivity, him being out the ring since 2019, he was placed in recess, which I've mentioned before. It didn't fall within the guidelines of recess. He wasn't injured, and it wasn't anything that was unforeseen that couldn't be stopped by the sport of boxing. It was just something that they just provided him because of his stature and his boxing royalty. So therefore, Yordenis Ugas was elevated to WBA super champion. What brings us to this right here. We've been pretty much pondering what's going to become of this. You know, who's Spence going to fight next? Who's Terrence Crawford going to fight next? We've seen Manny Pacquiao have his opportunity to step in the ring against the former unified welterweight champion, Keith one-time Thurman. He faced Keith one-time Thurman July 2019, and he won via split decision. During that fight, he was able to drop Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman suffered his first loss fighting Manny Pacquiao, a much older, antiquated, worn-down fighter. But Manny Pacquiao on that night at the MGM Grand, he was able to defeat Keith Thurman. Moving on, there was no fight. You know what I'm saying? From 19 to 20, and we already know what happened with 2020 with the pandemic. Heading into 2021, really no word of what Manny Pacquiao was going to do. So he's rolling up on a couple of years out the ring. He's coming up on a couple of years out the ring. So with this said, man, there's been so much hoopla against if this fight can happen. You know, they have to go in far and saw. Bob Arum made such a big deal about Terrence Crawford. If this is indeed true, with Errol Spence getting this fight, my biggest question, my underlying question is, are they going to elevate or reinstate Manny Pacquiao as the WBA super champion? If that is the case and Errol Spence has the opportunity to step in the ring with Manny Pacquiao, that's the only sense that it makes to me for him to fight for the WBA title with the WBC and the IBF title on the line for a unification bout. That's the only thing I can see happening if Pacquiao and Spence. Appreciate it, Calico. Appreciate it. Deshaun Thompson, what's good? Deshaun say, whoa, Spence fans wins again. Well, it's not absolutely official just yet, but Manny Pacquiao, a couple of hours while I was on live, and shout out to the person who mentioned it to me, they basically made the point to say, hey, you know, they mentioned this, and I say, I haven't heard anything about this fight yet. And come to find out that Pacquiao threw a bone out there about this fight. Pacquiao versus Spence, August 21st. So like I said before, if Errol Spence is able to fight Manny Pacquiao for the WBA super title, cool. But if he's fighting Manny Pacquiao just for legacy, just to say he stepped in there with a 62-7 8 division champion, I don't see how this stays on the timeline of unifying. Like, I understand that Vegas is open. I understand that the boxing is the cylinders are beginning to spin, and speed up, and boxing is picking up steam. I get it, but unless this is a title fight, it makes very much little sense to me as to why Errol Spence would take it just for a name on his record. And if it is indeed a name on his record, it's an old elder statesman on his record. That's all I'm gonna say. It's no hate. It's just fact. His birthday is what it is. I mean, we're waiting on a unification. Spence said he was on the verge of unifying the welterweight division. If that's the case, stick to the plan and fight for a unification for undisputed and have Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford has nothing to do with Manny Pacquiao. He has absolutely nothing to do with Manny Pacquiao. Terrence Crawford had me face Manny Pacquiao. The only individual in the welterweight division as of late, it was back in July 2019, and that was Keith Thurman, who's the WBA champion. Jeff Horn, he fought Manny Pacquiao and was able to win. Nobody look at him as a legend. But I'm hearing people already talking about, oh, Errol Spence fight Manny Pacquiao. To be a legend, you got to be the legend. Stop. You just don't. I swear that you better. You got people showing out already. You actually believe Errol Spence stepping in the ring with Manny Pacquiao is going to do him any justice? Just to have his name on there, and you want to say to be a legend, you got to be the legend. Errol Spence is not going to be a legend if he defeats an older Manny Pacquiao. He's just going to have the name on his resume. That's all. If they don't give Floyd full credit for fighting Manny Pacquiao, who he was older than when he fought Manny Pacquiao, I mean, I'm not understanding though. I'm really not understanding though, man. Are they going to reinstate Manny Pacquiao as the WBA super champion? That's one of my main concerns. Is this going to be a title fight with Manny Pacquiao? That's just something I'm curious about, being the WBA super champion. Now, moving forward, I know Terrence Crawford truly has to be pissed off, being that Bob Arum has been a cactus tree in his side, a motherfucking fresh thorn in his motherfucking pupil of his eye. I know he's going to be pissed and feel some type of way if, Bob Arum could have made this fight happen. You're locking on venues, but you're not locking on a venue for Terrence Crawford, Manny Pacquiao, knowing that Terrence Crawford needs this shit. I'm pretty sure as long as Bob Arum's been in the sport of boxing, he could have made some moves to get Manny Pacquiao reinstated as WBA super champion. TC hasn't fought an impressive fighter yet to me. Let's go into who you consider impressive though. Like how Calico, how can he be a killer, a legend killer, when he has 7 losses on this record, big dog? How can we talk about legend killers and Manny Pacquiao's 42 years old with 7 losses? He was knocked out in his 12th fight, and he was knocked out in his 24th, some 20 some fight, won by Toro Campo, and the other one I believe from a dude, Sung Surat. This is when he was fighting the Fly. He was knocked out early in his career. His 12th fight, he was knocked out. So really, is Errol Spence a legend killer? As Manny Pacquiao has been KO'd twice before he made his 30th professional fight. I just rounded off at 30. So coming full circle, 8th division champion, being out the sport since July 2019, competing. You're really going to say that Errol Spence is going to be a legend killer if he goes in there and defeat Manny Pacquiao? No, bro. That ain't even close to the truth. You need to stop that. Stop that. My bad. Had to refuel. Okay, back to the topic. If Terrence would have gotten the Pacquiao fight, consensus would have been the complete opposite. Y'all would have praised Crawford. Listen to me, Calico. I'm not looking at this fight to dog Errol Spence out for getting a fight with Manny Pacquiao if it's for the title. If it's for the title. If Manny Pacquiao is going to be reinstated as a WBA full super champion, there's nothing I have to say about it because he was able to get the fight. If I say he doesn't deserve the fight, I'm absolutely hating. That's not the case. You can't put y'all in there. Of course, I would have stood up here and praised Crawford. Of course. Because Manny Pacquiao would have been a solid name for him to fight, and he get an opportunity to fight for the WBA title. Now, for Errol Spence, like I said, he haven't announced it. The only problem I have with Errol Spence is if he fights Manny Pacquiao and it's not for the title. I'm like, why are you just wasting our time? Why are you fighting Manny Pacquiao? What is going on? I want to use boxing logic, right? I want to assume that they're going to reinstate Manny Pacquiao and allow Errol Spence to fight for the WBA with all the other WBC and the IBF on the line. All right? That's cool. Well, I would have rather Crawford be provided this opportunity to fight Manny Pacquiao. Now, I also have to weigh on the side of caution that I really don't know if Manny Pacquiao woke up and he didn't take his medication yet. Because I hope he ain't just putting shit out here. You know, Manny Pacquiao been putting shit out here and playing around, showing up at basketball games with Floyd Mayweather and doing all this goofy stuff. I'm curious to know if or even when Errol Spence will announce that this fight is indeed happening. And then we have an official promo where they actually say, okay, yeah, we're going to get Pacquiao and Spence, and it's going to be for the WBA, WBC, and the IBF titles. Then I'm going to say, okay, you have to understand. Yeah, I'm a Terrence Crawford fan. I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, that's fucked up. Errol Spence. If Errol Spence is fighting for the WBA title, cool. Cool. Who you asking? Am I going for? If this fight happens, Errol Spence is going to dog Manny Pacquiao. Please, it's no question. Mark Pinkerton in the building. Salute, man. Man, you know, Calico. We heard all the Terrence Crawford, who he am fault and everything. But at the end of the day, Calico, one thing's for sure: is that he's top pound for pound than Errol Spence, and he's a 3-division champion. That's for certain. Is Bummer Arum too greedy? You know, Arum should have made this fight happen. He talking about they had to fight on Venus or Pluto with no motherfucking gas mask and see who wins. I mean, come on, man. You could have made this fight. Pac-Man's a legend. Spence will retire, dominate him. Like I said before, you can say he's a legend. We both agree on that. Spence retiring him is no different than all the other people who have defeated Manny Pacquiao. He has 7 losses. He has 7 losses on his record. Floyd Mayweather is one of those losses. Juan Manuel Marcos is one of those losses. Timothy Bradley is one of those losses. And I know we're going to get people, oh, I can't believe you throw. I'm just going off the box record, okay? Because I seen the fight. All right. Eric Morales, loss. And you know the draws with Juan Manuel Marquez. You know, he has a draw with Sanchez. But when it comes down to it, man, he has 7 losses on his record. And at this age, guess what? Will it really matter if Manny Pacquiao retires after Errol Spence? Would Errol Spence be the fighter who retire him or his pacemaker? Because Manny Pacquiao is freaking 42 years old already. And motherfucking boxing years and motherfucking redwood tree years, and deep sea diving, finding new species years, dinosaurs, all that shit. Manny Pacquiao is about 59 and a half years old right now. He's about 59 years old. Older than me. Look at him. Look at him on the thumbnail. His age is showing, dog. He's much older. Deshaun said, preach. Preach what? Preach about what? What do you come in this? What you coming here again with pom-poms there, Deshaun? Preach about what? What is he preaching about? Just because he's trying to say, oh, y'all would have praised Crawford. Crawford fans, Errol Spence fans, you're going to get the same type of energy. Errol Spence fans is going to praise him for fighting Manny Pacquiao with or without a title. With or without a title. Terrence Crawford fans will praise him with or without a title. Because that is Manny Pacquiao. But what we're trying to see happen right now is all the belts, welterweight. Pac-Man's a legend. Spence will retire, dominates Manny. Spence going to retire Manny, but damn, respect the Manny, Pac-Man, Pacquiao, then duck nothing, a real dog. Manny a legend, took on the best regardless of age. It's Errol Spence Instagram. It's on there. Let me check right quick. I'm basically, because a lot of stuff been happening while I was online. So Deshaun, give me a minute, to check out your facts. See if you're being factual. Wow. Let me I can't call, I can't call bullshit on the boxing heads in the live chat, because somebody said earlier about Pacquiao and Spence, and I'm like, I didn't hear anything about it. Just because it just popped up on his Twitter. So let me go to his IG. So I appreciate Deshaun for dropping that info. It's on Errol Spence IG. Errol Spence Jr. says, done deal. See y'all in Vegas for the biggest fight of the year. Nope, it's not the biggest fight of the year. Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury is the biggest fight of the year, Errol. Stop talking some bullshit once again. But I appreciate this, Deshaun Thompson. Salute to you for dropping that info. Real talk. I ain't supposed to know everything. Put that up there. So we got the boxing heads in the live chat in the trenches. Salute, appreciate you. Miss say these fights get announced every day when both fighters and teams say it's official. I'm with it. Yeah, but look, I don't want to say Errol Spence clout chasing anything, because I was just led, Deshaun led me to Instagram and Errol Spence say it's a done deal. See y'all in Vegas. All right. He says it's a done deal. He has the same thumbnail or the same promo that Manny Pacquiao released early on Twitter. That's all I'm saying. Spence versus Pac-Man is bigger and better fight than Spence versus Ugas. Absolutely. Sad part is Crawford still won't get the Ugas fight. That's why Spence is taking the Pac-Man fight. God, good chess move. Damn good chess move. I don't know if it's a chess move. If it's available, it's available. What chess got to do with it? I mean, it's only a good chess move if Errol Spence and Al Heyman is able to influence the WBA to reinstate Manny Pacquiao and for Manny Pacquiao to be dropped off to Errol Spence's food and for him to pick up this WBA title. Then, potentially at the end of the year, we see Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. Me, I would have rather the championships be split like Ramirez and Taylor, 2-2. Yeah, the WBC and IBF, and for Crawford, he has the WBA, WEO. I would have liked that. We all know Pac is a legend. Some people talk like we don't know that. You know what I'm saying, bitch? I'm like, hey, we know that already. Man, this summer going to be turned up. Absolutely. It's going up this summer. Man, boxing going up on the motherfucking Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. Man, the damn hotels are packed again. No bubble. Man, this shit is turning up, man. Unbelievable. I remember Tank and Ryan had a poster up on the Instagram. Exactly. And, I usually don't report on this, but once again, I've seen the people talking about it. I'm not really, unless I see shit out of this, and this, I really don't talk about it because, I'm not looking, I don't have to be on here every day about this. I kind of wait for some official news to be announced. But for this, I'll talk about it because it's dealing with Pacquiao and Spence. And I'm feeling some type of way that Terrence Crawford ain't got this fight. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford, man, I guess you just gonna have to wait it out because your contract coming to an end real soon. Because Bob Arum could have very well got you this fight. Pac-Man been using every fighter he could for clout to stay relevant. His team has been jerking all these guys around for 2 years. LOL. I believe it. Manny Pacquiao has been not only, jerking guys around, but he acting like he got dementia. Manny out here playing games and shit. Like, damn, are you clout chasing on the end of your career? Aren't you a politician? Damn. What, they told you to choose between the red and the blue? If Errol Spence has got this fight, good for him. But I would have rather Terrence Crawford has it. Wilder Fury bigger than this fight, both in their prime for a trilogy. Yeah, man. Man, come on, man. Come on. Anybody think that the Errol Spence and Pacquiao is the biggest fight of the year? They on that flocker. They go hard in the motherfucking paint when they on that flocker. They on bath salts and flocker. Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao bigger than Wilder Fury. Manny team confirmed on Twitter already. Yes, we basically said that, and appreciate Whoever told me that, I think it was J8. I'm not sure, but somebody told me about the Manny Pacquiao Spence, and a comment was made. I'm not sure who it was, but I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying, for bringing it to the surface on the live chat. Real talk. I appreciate Deshaun for saying it was on his IG, because it is on Errol Spence's IG. Problem is, who does Ugas defend his title against in the meanwhile? Possibly Josecito Lopez. Hold up. So you believe that if this fight is indeed a reality, there, Mitch, you truly believe they're gonna allow Yordenis Ugas to step in the ring and play around with a title? If somehow, some way they make more money with Errol Spence if Manny Pacquiao's the WBA super champion, why would you think they allow Yordenis Ugas to get a hall pass to play around against a tough fighter like Josecito Lopez? That doesn't make any sense to me. PBC might throw Josecito a bone. Hell no. He'd be better off fighting Ugas than getting demolished by Crawford. Man. Man. They ain't about to let Yordenis Ugas get a hall pass to frolic around and kick cans with WBA title and fight Josecito Lopez, man. They're going to say, hey, yeah, you can fight Josecito Lopez, but guess what, my friend? My friend, that title's coming over here. We're reinstating Manny Pacquiao. The Filipino nation has deemed it necessary to reinstate our politician and our boxing legend. Run along, Yordenis. Run along. You know what was coming. Run along. I don't know, man. Seeing as though we've seen Wilder Fury twice already, Spence and Pacquiao might be just as big, not bigger though. Heavyweights are still the big boys. They go hard in the mother Flocka. Bath sauce and Flocka. What the hell you talking about, Mitch? Somebody tell me what the hell Mitch is talking about. Mitch is over here talking about Spence and motherfucking Pacquiao is bigger than Wilder Fury. Have you lost your Flocka mind? They don't even come close. Just because we seen 2 fights already, you trying to tell me that fight is bigger than the heavyweights, especially in this trilogy? Was somebody going to end up in the hospital? Are you tripping? Seriously. Pac-Man say, looking bad. What's going on, Pac-Man? Looking bad for Bud. It's looking real bad, but he's going to have to get out that contract. I think his contract up in October. He going to have to abort mission and call it a day, man. And find somehow to reset. Because, like I said, in this particular scenario with Spence, I hope he's not fighting Pacquiao for the name. I hope he's not fighting Manny Pacquiao for the name. Because there's 7 people already have Manny Pacquiao for the name. He has 7 losses on his record. It's 7 that's already have him for the name. 42 years old. I mean, he'll probably be 40. Let me see. When is he supposed to It's his birthday. I think he might be 43 by the time they fight. If this fight is indeed official, he might be 43. I'm thinking Manny might try and get his belt returned for this fight. I'm pretty sure, man, if Errol Spence and Al Heyman and all them cats, I'm pretty sure that they're going to push for that. Deshaun said Errol Spence and Pac-Man is the biggest fight of the year. Guess I'm on that Flocka. You got these cats on these Flocka dehydrated. They don't even want to drink no water. They off that Flocka, man. Deshaun, what's up, Tay? Salute. Hey, Tay, answer me this, man. Deshaun, Mitch, They saying that Errol Spence and Pacquiao is a bigger fight than Wilder Fury. Just want to hear what you had to say. If you had anything to say on that, or why or in or whatever. I believe Manny gets his belt back. Yeah, it's highly possible, man. It's highly possible. I see WCS Tano, what's up? What? With Manny getting his belt back? Hey, it'll be all worth it if Errol Spence is to fight Manny Pacquiao for the belt. Repo Man coming to pay Ugas a visit. No. Andrew, how are you going to pay a visit to someone who never received the belt in the first place in the ring? Like, this is going to be a simple one. This is going to be simple. At least he have the one that's in there, you know what I'm saying, with the temp tags on it. You know, Ugas still have it, that shit sitting over there with the temp tags. And they told Ugas, hey, just relax, my friend. It's not permanent yet, but, you know, we might come back around and we might have to snatch and go, okay? But that's why we keeping the temp tag on it. I think the temp tags are still on that motherfucker, dog. Yes, that's why it's bigger. Fury and Wilder has an extensive history and backstory, though. That's not the energy I was hearing earlier. Mitch, you was up there throwing serious shade, man, talking about we seen 2 fights before. I was like, damn. You've been switching up lately, man. God dang. You might need to get an IV because of that flocker. For real. You've been switching up. What's going on, Warrior? What's good? Man, his B-Day ends in December, so he'll still be 42 when he faces Spence. Appreciate the info. I can't respond to foolish things. Absolutely. We just have to overlook Mitch, even though he is one of those he's one of the, how you put it, the daily or the weekly supporters. I do appreciate your input, but you tripping thinking Spence Pacquiao is bigger than Wilder Fury. Hell no. What's going on? Transcendent Sports in the building. World Combat Sports salute to you, man. What's good? How you been? Alfonso said, I bet WBA gonna take that belt back and move Ugas back to interim. Hey, why not? They kept the temp tags on it because they know they was coming back. He never had the keys to it. Never. Neighbors walking by Ugas. What's going on with that? I don't want to talk about it. It's too personal. He really ain't gonna want to talk about it after they sent him that email. At the request of PBC, we are reinstating Manny Pacquiao to WBA full champion, and also we're announcing that Manny Pacquiao will indeed face Errol Spence, the WBC and IBF World Welterweight Champion, in the unification bout in August. That's just pretty much how I'm assuming it's going to be, because for Errol Spence to face Manny Pacquiao just for a name is pointless to me. He said it was strap season. So if you look back and you look at what Errol Spence said, someone asked him something about fighting Manny Pacquiao. And he said, why am I going to fight Manny Pacquiao? He don't have a belt. It's strap season. So he was making a point to say, I'm fighting for them but straps. You know, pretty much what Canelo's been doing. What Canelo's doing. I'm fighting nothing but straps. That's it. You can't tell me shit. Transcendent say, Fury versus Wilder is a much bigger fight because of all the things that happen. Absolutely. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts, but not just from what happened. It's just a bigger fight in general, because we're talking about 2 individuals that has extensive history in the sport of boxing and with one another. And one has blood on his motherfucking head. Either way it goes, I don't agree with Pac-Man getting that belt back. Why is that? everything that boxing has going on right now and the way they moving, are you going to be mad at how the belt system all of a sudden works? When Mauricio Suleiman is inserting franchise belts whenever he feel like it, just coming into the point of look, Mitch, give you some boxing EDU, right? I don't think you was pretty much perturbed when you found out Estrada defeating Chocolatito. All of a sudden, he has to face his mandatory and rungs facade. The WBC comes in there and say, nope, you don't have to fight Rung Facade. You can sit up here and fight Chocolatito. You can fight him again. It's a much bigger fight in Rung Facade. Plus, I'm going to indoctrinate you with the franchise belt. So you can't be mad if they reinstate Manny Pacquiao, because boxing is doing what boxing does. It's no complete unit. Boxing is a sport, not an organization. See, the UFC is a promotion who has a belt system internal to their organization. They don't cross thread to other promotions to fight. Bellator, same thing. PFL, IFL, all that shit. Boxing have sanctioning bodies. I mean, who's governing them? You know what I'm saying? Like who's in charge of them? And then with the sanctioning bodies, you have who? The promotions. You have promotions everywhere. The promotions really have no say-so over the sanctioning bodies. I know people say, well, the WBO champions, we already know who that is. That's a top rank belt. No, you can say that just off the people that's holding the belt. I get it. But when it comes down to it, the promotions really doesn't have that umbilical cord to the sanctioning bodies. Else it will look like a communication server with a whole lot of other, Cat5 or fiber running from one point to the next. It will be, we call it spaghetti. So this shit is no different than what Mauricio Suleiman did for Estrada versus Chocolatito. When Rung Facade was the mandatory for Estrada, he didn't get his shot. He said, oh, this fucked up. You're going to goddamn say, okay, you're going to elevate Estrada to man, come on, man. Alfonso said, WBA can still get sanctioning fees from Pac versus Spence and August versus Thurman. I don't think, look, Alfonso, to be honest, I don't even think sanctioning fees is anything important right now, because we can say that for any belt, any sanctioning body, sanctioning fees. No one really caring about that. They just want to know, what is the process of elimination going to be? Are they going to reinstate Manny Pacquiao as the full champion? Are they going to demote and put Yordenis Ugas back where he was before? Because the only reason he was there was because Best Putin tested positive. I got here late comeback. So who you got on this fight? On what fight? On what fight? Transcended. Come on now. Come on, Transcended. You talking about Pacquiao Spence? Spence is going to have an easy day at work with Pacquiao. No, we're not talking about no Keith Thurman versus Pacquiao. We're talking about Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. I have Errol Spence defeating Manny Pacquiao. And to be honest, Errol Spence might go in there and stop Manny Pacquiao. It might not be from himself through his punches. It might be from Manny Pacquiao's corner. Real talk. It might be a towel thrown in. It might be, waving surrender from his corner and the fight is stopped. TKO, whatever. RTD, something. I don't see this fight going the distance. And many people are going to look at it like, well, that's Manny Pacquiao. Well, Manny Pacquiao's been stopped before. I mean, just look at the Juan Manuel Marquez fight. It's not like he's invincible. Can Errol Spence be the one who do it, or if Errol Spence going to go in there and basically give us a boxing match and be respectful? I don't know, but I don't have Manny Pacquiao beating Errol Spence at all. Dead game in the building. Salute to you. Alfonso say Spence with 8-4. That's possible. Shit, 10-2, goddamn it. That shit might be 10-2. For real. Because we saw Manny Pacquiao get a little tired against Keith Thurman at one point. And this fight is going to be with testing, I believe. You know what I'm saying? Don't you think if it be with testing, was it with testing with Adrian Broner? Was it with testing with Lucas Matisse? Was it with testing with Keith Thurman? I'm just putting it out there. Let me know, man. Yeah, I wasn't feeling that. I thought homeboy should get his shot at Estrada, not perturbed too much, because some people really felt a way about Chocolatito's decision. I did have Estrada winning though. Hey, all of what you said, correct. They did feel some type of way. They felt, and I felt that Chocolatito won. But at the end of the day, it's what we're talking about with the sanctioning bodies, i.e., Mauricio Suleiman, the WBC president, inserting the franchise belt on Estrada to get the third fight. Saying, fuck wrong for side, we're going to do what the hell we want. So we're going to insert the franchise and elevate him. He doesn't have to face his mandatory so we can get this trilogy. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Dion Washington in the building. Tuscaloosa stand up. What's good? He said, we will see. Really, Thurman didn't get hurt to the body. He could have won on decision. Man, now look, I'm not going to be the one that's sitting up here making excuses for Keith Thurman. Wasn't Keith Thurman the one indulging in ice cream like he was at Dairy Queen or something? He knew he had a title defense. Is it true that he was in the casinos to the wee hours of the night? I mean, it was a lot leading up to that fight that we already know about, this PR. And a lot just told me about Keith Thurman. He might have just wasn't mentally there. He cashed out like Charles Martin. He went the distance, though. He cashed out, and he didn't have his best day. And we still don't know what the hell Keith Thurman got going on. We still have no idea what's going on with Keith Thurman. Pacquiao about to get washed. I'm serious. Pacquiao getting washed in this fight. Ugas punching air. Pac-Man held that belt hostage a year before COVID hit. Nah. Pac-Man, they fought. Pac-Man fought Keith Thurman July 2019. So COVID hit after the Wilder fight. So I say about what, March? It hit around March, man. We was in COVID, goddamn it. You know, that was less than a year. It's just when 2020 started to put away days, people start saying, oh man, boxing picking back up. What Pacquiao gonna do? Pacquiao ain't did shit. Who he fighting? I can't see Spence stopping Pacquiao, but I definitely see him winning. I just don't believe Spence had that type of punch. Listen to what I said, Warrior. I said that Spence may punish Pacquiao. It may not a knockout may not be presented at the hands of Errol Spence per se from a punch. It may include his corner throwing in the towel or the referee stopping the fight or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe when I say the fight may be stopping Errol Spence win by knockout. Jay say, hell no, this fight not bigger than Wilder Fury 3. I don't know, man. You know, they on that flock of strong, dog. That flock is strong. Alfonso Morris say Thurman left hook couldn't after the 8th round. It's, you know, like I said before, it just didn't look good for Thurman. If Spence indeed has this fight, we should be hearing news coming down the line, whether it's going to be for the WBA title. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I do talk and have my criticism of Spence, but I'm not a hater. You know what I mean? It's certain fighters I don't like now. I start off at the heavyweight division. It's certain fighters I don't like. I don't like Anthony Joshua, and I don't like Tyson Fury. It's certain fighters I don't like. Real talk. But with Errol Spence, when it comes to Terrence Crawford, I do have criticism when it comes to the welterweight division and him and what his words are saying. But if he's the man that they're allowing over there at PBC to have these fights, they working their magic to get these fights, then so be it. I mean, hey, man, get in where you fit in. He's a single division champion. Errol Spence is 9-0 as a welterweight. 9-0. He needs to earn some titles, and he needs to get this undisputed. And like I mentioned to y'all before, the magic needs to happen. And I don't think black fighters can pull it off because they may not have the support. But see, the shit that happened between Estrada and Chocolatito, that shit right there can happen. I don't think as black fighters, Spence and Jermell Charlo can make this shit happen. Because I told you what I think. Jermell Charlo unify, Errol Spence move up, defeats Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo get a rematch, defeat Errol Spence. He moves back down and he faces freaking Bud Crawford for the remaining title. He would have became undisputed in a totally in the second division, undisputed in the second division. Also, Jermell Charlo would became two-time undisputed super welterweight champion. Errol Spence, he's already unified at welterweight. So just in case, you want to add up the belts, he go over there and fight Terrence Crawford. If he's successful, he's a two-division undisputed world champion. So he goes down in the history books, fast track on the back end of his career. It's an amazing storyline, but I truly don't think them being black boxers or black fighters in the sport that they can pull it off in that facet. Why? Because I'm gonna give you an example. It ain't gonna be a perfect one. I'm gonna give you an example, a good example, right? We got Jake Paul bullshit going on, and Showtime signing him, and they're gonna link him up with some shit, and they putting that support, right? This is the person who really doesn't have any boxing pedigree when it comes to amateur that we know of, even though I was told that he did have some amateur experience, but more so on the professional level. The networks are pushing for this shit, right? But check this out. Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo are bona fide legitimate boxers. Amateur pedigree, professional pedigree, right? So when it comes down to this story this scenario that I created at the age of Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence and them being in the same stable, them being in the same backyard of Texas, it would be incredible for them to pull this shit off. It would cement both of their careers. Errol Spence being two division unified and Jermell Charlo being two-time undisputed. If they can pull that shit off and make people believe it, it would be the greatest mastermind of this era of two individuals that can leave the sport and laugh about this shit later on in life. Real talk. In boxing, they are two of the perfect individuals to pull this shit off and addition their boxing legacy with the right support and push. Errol Spence, Jermell Charlo have a falling out. They're both in the same stable. They train for this fight. Errol Spence start calling out Jermell Charlo. They're in Texas. Sell out the motherfucking stadium, Texas. Boom. Go in there and fight. Jermell Charlo loses the title, but it's a rematch clause. Once again, Jermell Charlo goes back in there, hands Errol Spence his first loss. It's not going to really affect Errol Spence at this point in his career. Canelo Alvarez had 42 fights when he lost to Floyd Mayweather. You think is really going to affect how people look at Jermell Charlo, who already lost to Tony Harrison? You really think Errol Spence, his fan base is going to drop because he lost to Jermell Charlo moving up in weight? No. It's not going to happen. I'm just putting it out there. Mel won't take that fight. Listen, like I said before, J8, you proving my point. You're proving my point on why I say black fighters can't do this. Because you don't have confidence that two black fighters can get together and derive a plan such as this to cement their legacy, and people believe it. But take two other fighters that's non-black, they'll go out here and fool the people forever and a day and laugh in your motherfucking face once it's all said and done. And you know, people can sit up here and shake their head and say, oh man, what this nigga talking about? You know, look at it. You have two individuals in the same gym, in the same town, have a fan base in the same boxing backyard. Errol Spence, let's just say he fight Pacquiao. Boom, get Pacquiao. He gets the WBA title. In between time, Jermell Charlo is going to fight Brian Castano soon. Terrence Crawford, two gas pedals. Either he stays at the welterweight division or he tries something different. Terrence Crawford's been talking about going to 140 to face the winner Ramirez and Josh Taylor, whatever. Or Spence decide to stay at welterweight. All right, he go down to 140, stay at welterweight. In the meanwhile, Errol Spence picks up this WBA title from Manny Pacquiao. Jermell Charlo is the undisputed super middleweight champion. In between time, all you have to do is drop a couple of tweets, go to IG, start fucking off, talking shit about one another. Oh, your head, you that shit done went to your head. You talking shit, you changing. Now that you're the undisputed, champion, you think you bigger than the team. That's all that has to happen with Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo. That's all they have to do. Jermell is already a lit stick of dynamite anyway. His fuse is always on. So to get Errol Spence and everything to go into the whole process of building this shit up is easy. It's easy work. But like I said before, people will hear me say it and say, nah, they brothers, man. What brothers have to do with fighting? If you're going to say that Errol Spence has sparred bigger people, Errol Spence has sparred Jermell Charlo, hearing me talk about it, you may feel some type of way. That's fucking fixed, man. Listen, they sparred each other before. You think they can't go in there and move around and make it look convincing to the crowd? Do you know how much money they will make between each other? Do you know that? Do you know how many millions that they will bring to Texas? They don't even have to move out of Texas. They can fight two of the biggest fights in Texas. So when Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo collect that money, they can come. Errol Spence can return back to the welterweight divisions and collect another piece by fighting Terrence Crawford because he ain't lose his belts. I'm done with that. He said they too close to each other. Man, Jay, don't let me go get some tissue. Don't let me go get some tissue, Jay. Mel's supposed to move up. He can still move up, Jay. We all know that. He can move up after he get his titles back from damn Errol Spence. See, black people, they'll listen to what another black man like myself say, and they'll say bullshit. But get a Thai, a Mexican fighter, Dominican, get a Mexican, Filipino, get a European fight, get UK. No, get a British fighter and put this scenario. They already did it. Anthony Joshua's already did it. They did it with Andy Ruiz. It's the same shit. I know you're talking, Andy Ruiz was a last-minute replacement. Come on, bro. You truly believe that Andy Ruiz thought he was going to gain his titles back in Saudi. Come on, man. Get out. Stop it. I can tell you who can pull this shit off first. UK fighters. Eddie Hearns, he can pull this shit off. Easy. Exactly what they tried to do with Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. This is exactly what they tried to do. It just didn't fucking work. If my aunt had, she'd be my uncle. Pac-Man beat Thurman is what it is. PBS will have Ugas versus Josecito Lopez on the undercard of Spence versus Pac. Hey, Mitch, if that's what you that's the way you feel, I get it. Like I said before, I say this all the time. People will listen to someone on a different platform or what they consider to be a higher tier say some basic shit, and they run with it and post it on Facebook as a new quote, right? But you take the person that give you a scenario, and a person can look at it and come up with I don't know how many bullet points to discount it, to denounce it. But in reality, it can happen. It can make a lot of people money. If those individuals was willing to go along with the plan, it can make a lot of people millions. And also it can cement legacies. So being that I know I'm the only one and I'm the first one to speak on it, let's see how Errol Spence's legacy concludes outside of my scenario. Let's see. Will he be a 2-division unified? Will he even be a 2-division champion? I believe so. I believe Errol Spence can be a 2-division champion. Will he be a 2-time unified champion? I'm not sure. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm not sure. He said, wow, so now EJ gonna fight Pac, then Ugas, and then chase an older Crawford. Well, you know, I cannot put Pac and Ugas in the same freaking auditorium when it comes to selecting the fight now, because the relevance of both of them are different. Ugas may have the title now, but why would he fight Pacquiao just for a name? I'm not saying he may not, but why would he fight Pacquiao when Ugas has the title? Which is more important, Manny Pacquiao's name or Yordenis Ugas' title? I would think Yordenis Ugas' title if Errol Spence has been the only one making a declaration that he's on the verge of unifying the welterweight division. That WBA title is more important to me. EJ being protected, shit, for 10 mil, I beat the shit out of my brother. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Look, we talking about more than 10 mil. We talking about more than 10 mil. It's highly possible. More than 10 mil. Jade, I'm knocking my brother the fuck out for 10 mil. You know what I'm saying? For real. Because when I drive over there with that new whip, shit. Hey, it's everything gonna be cool, man. Hey, man, we planning a family get together, man. We're gonna laugh this shit up. We're gonna invite everybody over and celebrate, man. We made some hell of a amount of money off fooling the people. Man, I'm living good, man. I'm having my house built. You know what I'm saying? People, they don't think like that. Like, just because I'm giving a scenario, I know people done told me, man, on my inbox, man, why are you talking about a scenario of a fixed fight? I said boxing has had several fixed fights. Even to this day, it's fighters that's going in there knowing that they're not going to win. They know that. It's not because they figuring that they can't beat. It might be both. They know they can't win, and they know they're going to lose. They're not supposed to win on that night. Stay close to fighting. You stay close to boxing, man. That shit happens all the time. So happened with that belt. Ugas and Pac be playing hot potato? That's the big question of the day. The SB90 in the building. Salute to you. That's the big question of the day. Will they reinstate Manny Pacquiao out of recess? Will they reinstate Manny Pacquiao out of recess? If I'm thinking about Manny Pacquiao's name with 7 defeats, and I'm thinking about the WBA title, I'm going WBA title. If Yordenis Ugas is the guy who has it, absolutely. Why face Pacquiao for a name? It's certain things in boxing I don't suppose to think logically about, because Errol Spence has declared that he's on the verge of unifying the welterweight division. In order to unify, don't you need all the belts? So if we're talking about out the ring business IQ, wouldn't it be a smarter business move for you to collect that WBA belt off Ugas? Or better yet, if you do fight Manny Pacquiao, wouldn't it be a better sound business move to somehow have your people reinstate Manny Pacquiao as the full champion? So you have a 42-year-old Manny Pacquiao, the WBA champion, going in there against Spence, the WBC and the IBF world champion. That's a unification. Either way, it's a win-win for Spence. It's a win-win. It's surely a win-win for Spence fight Manny Pacquiao with the belt. He fight Yordenis Ugas just like just like Javon Woodard said, that made sense because I always listen to what people say. Javon Woodard said, I don't supposed to get excited about something I'm supposed to do. I was supposed to do that. I'm not really excited about what I'm supposed to do. So people are not going to be excited about Errol Spence going in there and washing Ugas for the belt, but they will be excited that he has the third strap and he has one more to go. Fighting Ugas ain't going to net Pacquiao money. No, it ain't. It's not. Jay, I'm bringing up all old shit from when we were kids. Mad motivation. Spence versus Towering Inferno. Fundora may be at 160 by then. Amazing style clash, though. I don't know, but I definitely don't want to get too far off topic with Spence fighting Sebastian Fundora. That'd be a damn good fight, boy. Boy. That should be a good fight right there. That's what I'm saying. Before these other names start to surface again, and they're at the top now. They're at the top. They trading. The Erickson Lubins and Tim Zoos is moving up. I mean, they there. They waiting. They waiting. They just waiting for Charlo and Castano to see what happened. But really, the scenario in between time, Errol Spence beefing with Mel Charlo, have 2 fights, make millions, come back down to welterweight and fight Terrence Crawford. That's 3 paychecks. Man, Errol Spence can say, you know what, I've done enough for the sport of boxing. I have nothing else to prove. I'm 2-division unified champion. Undisputed. I've set my history. I set my legacy. I'm number 1 on the pound for pound list. It's a lot of shit that can happen with that. Seriously, it's a lot of shit that can happen if he was to go up there and do what he do. You know it. You just don't want to agree to it because it's WCS that's telling you. You know what I'm saying? These views on here don't determine what I've already worked for in life. You know, college educated. I mean, this is just expression. This is just passion talking about the sport. But people are going to sit up here and say, well, did you hear what WCS did? He's talking about fixing the fight. Go tell Errol. I'm telling you, man. They know it. They know it. As much as the Charlo brothers flaunt their material possessions, why not pull off one of the biggest heists? You know who would do it? You know who can pull this off? Real talk. Back in the day, it's only one person. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's only one person that can pull this shit off. That's Floyd Mayweather. Floyd could do it. If he had that one individual, Floyd could do it. Floyd could do it. Now, I don't know if he's willing to take a loss. You have to pay Floyd. I take that back. I recant. I'm just saying Floyd is a genius at making money. But the way he thinks in making money, man, he's willing to, like he brought Conor McGregor, he's willing to go through some shit like this. But I don't know if it could be somebody that he's training with or another black fighter, or it meant him taking a loss and then again, I don't know if he's going for that shit, dog. It's strap season, but it's boxing, so it's always rack season. It's always rack season. Always. That's what I'm saying. Don't discount what I'm saying like it ain't rack season. With strap season, they trying to increase the rack season. More straps, more racks. Okay, I'm back. Have WCS put in his application to become an official Errol Spence fan? Hell no. Nah. Terrence Crawford fan. I'm a Terrence Crawford fan. That's it. Not a fanboy. I'm none of that. But I'm not up here. I'm not an Errol Spence hater either. Even though I've been deemed one, I'm not an Errol Spence hater. Fight Pac-Man in the summer, shelf August until winter, or give him a light touch for a title defense until the winter. Man, I don't know if you all think that Yordenis Ugas can pull off a title defense and then come back and fight Errol Spence or Manny Pacquiao. I mean, I don't know, man. Who you gonna give him though? Sebastian Formella? Who you gonna give him? Who's gonna be the light touch? You're gonna have to pull somebody to win. You're gonna have to go to the bottom of the barrel, like when they got Carlos Ocampo for Errol Spence. He was a mandatory. He came out of nowhere. He's fighting Carlos Ocampo. Who? You're gonna have to get him one of those opponents. Knock him out in the second, third round. And then, I don't think they want to play around like that, man. You never know with boxing, though. They might call a Paul brother up. You might have one of these, start talking about Jake Paul fighting and shit in a catch weight. Come on, WCS. You need to come over to the winning side. I'm already on the winning side. First and foremost, Team Bomb Squad. Just so you don't forget, let me go up here and remove this so you can see the bat signal. You know what I'm saying? Can't cover that up. First of all, just so we clear, Team Williams, just so we clear. But Deshaun, I know you're going to come over here on the weekend and talk your shit. It's all good. But I'll let you handle that over there. Because, sometimes you be all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I gotta freaking guide you back in, just like I'm at the airport on the tarmac. I gotta guide you back in. Go ahead. Go. Yeah, forward. Keep coming. I gotta guide you back to the damn landing zone and park. And go in there and counsel you and say, hey, this is what you need to work on. I didn't know you support Wilder. You okay. I mean, you might be being honest. Okay, cool. Yeah, you know, most people that drop through in a live chat, they pretty much know that already. But the bat signal is gonna be up all the way to July. You know what I'm saying? Until he's stepping through the ropes. It's gonna be up the entire time. Period. Everybody know this WCS. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to um the whole mix up, like everything is this being scrambled right now with this news. And of course, we still have to wait for the official news to come out. But I don't see any logic, any boxing logic in Errol Spence facing Manny Pacquiao for the name right now. I mean, it just holds shit up. I mean, I thought he was on the verge of unifying the welterweight division. That's what his words. Fighting Manny Pacquiao for a name, then Yordenis Ugas for the title, then Terrence Crawford. You're definitely looking for 2022. But I could have sworn that Errol Spence say after he finished fighting Ugas, he'd be ready for Terrence Crawford, if I'm correct. So I thought, it sounded to me like he was, organizing his plans moving forward to unify and give us the welterweight undisputed. What we don't want to see is Jermell Charlo unify the 154 division before we see a welterweight situation go down, and then Canelo unify the super middleweight division, and then we turn around Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor, they're gonna be unified, and then Deontay going ahead getting his title back, and then setting up a fight with Anthony Joshua and knock his ass out before welterweight is unified. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of scenarios that can happen. But Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, they don't want to still be up here talking about unifying the welterweight division. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. By then, Teofimo would have vacated his titles at 35 and moved up to 40. Y'all still up there. Errol's still trying to figure out what he gonna do. Like, nah, I think I'm gonna fight. What's that new kid that's on the block? Keyshawn Davis. Yeah, he moving up, ain't he? I think I'm gonna wait on him, to get up here and get him a shot at something. I mean, we don't want to hear that, man. Damn. What division T.O. in? What T.O. he planning on moving to 47 anytime soon? I mean, it might get to that. Like, I want a big name. Well, one big name that's there, and he ain't really calling out Errol Spence. I'm not saying he don't want to fight Errol Spence, but this is going to make it interesting for the next 12 months. And that's Jerome Ennis. Jerome Ennis is in the welterweight division making big noise right now. And he's calling out Terrence Crawford. That'll be a hell of a fight. I'm just mentioning Jerome Ennis as, individuals that's there in the welterweight division. Once these titles get to where they're going and they're accessible to the next contenders in line, outside of Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Ugas, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, them people, the new guard is on deck. You got the Virgil Ortiz. That's what we're going to be paying attention to. And I said this, it's amazing. I said this shit. I said, it's a changing of the guard coming soon. What? We got Danny Garcia talking about moving up to 54. That's one. It's only so many times that Sean Porter can stay at 147. He fought a heavier weight class in the AMs. Why not do it now, Sean? What is wrong? You're a strong dude, man. You're athletic. Move to 154 with Danny Garcia. And then, it's going to come a time, Terrence Crawford, boom, he out. Errol Spence has no other options. He has to make a run at what he said he was going to do. If he doesn't do it and he moves to 154, a lot of people like myself is going to have something to say about it because he made such a big deal about it. We have to see this Crawford fight. If we don't see the Crawford fight and he's trying to stall Crawford out and people continue to blame Crawford for this, that, and the other, Crawford be out of the damn contract and we'll see. But at the end of the day, Errol Spence need to fight Crawford. Crawford need to fight Errol Spence. And then Errol Spence need to move up to 154. While Jermell Charlo is moving up to 160 and Mauro Charlo moving up to 68. So I know that don't matter across the board, but there are good competition that's in those divisions. There's some good fights to make at 54 for Errol Spence. Even Sebastian Fundora, I'm telling you. If Errol Spence fights Sebastian Fundora, that's going to be a crazy-ass challenge, man. Sebastian is a unique individual. He gets no love tonight, though. Calico say Team Haney, Spence, Wilder. Okay. For sure. The man has never taken a tune-up. Let Spence be PPV great. I'm not sure what you mean, a tune-up. Who said he needed a tune-up? I thought he, even Mikey Garcia, he came up and fought Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? He came back and fought Mikey Garcia. That's what he chose to do. So people want to praise Errol Spence for fighting Mikey Garcia. Cool. But don't put the whole storyline behind it that he was coming off an accident and he's reinvigorated and rededicated to the sport. He was coming off the biggest fight of his career against Sean Porter. Self-inflicted, he had an accident. God blessed him for a second chance of his life and career. He came back and fought Danny Garcia. He pummeled him. He beat his ass. He beat Danny Garcia's ass worse than he beat Mikey Garcia. So you know what? Goddamn it, he should have fought Mikey Garcia upon his return. For real. Errol Spence should have fought Mikey Garcia. Because we pretty much knew what was happening with Danny. But Mikey Garcia has one loss. That one loss is from Errol Spence. Why not go back in there and get a rematch? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Shaw. That's all I'm trying to say, people. Errol Spence could have came back and fought Mikey Garcia because he has one loss and he's a 4-division champion. But if I was to say some shit, why he gonna do it? He already beat Mikey. Okay. But so have Sean Porter beat Danny Garcia too. So have Keith Thurman beat Danny Garcia too. OG, how you doing? Peace to that chat. What's going on, Mike? How you feel, OG? How you feeling? Hey, Mike, is that you that on IG? I didn't know it was you because people be faking the funk on IG. But let me know if that's you that's been chatting with the same logo because I didn't know. That's why I haven't really been responding to you on it because motherfuckers be playing games. You got it out of 4. You got it out for Spence. Say what you want. I mean, if you take my words about Spence after I gave you a scenario about him and Jamel, you know what I'm saying, making money, then obviously you're not really listening. You picking and choosing. Okay, all right, for sure. You picking and choosing what you want to digest. At welterweight, my number one fighter is Terrence Bud Crawford. So therefore, if there's been a connection between him and Errol Spence for quite some time. Everybody know that. But once again, I'm not going to call you an Errol Spence, this, that, and the other. But y'all have to get off making up these cliche names on people who support certain fighters just because it sounds elementary as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes down to it, how can I have it out for Errol Spence when I just said he should have fought Mikey Garcia, or he should fight Manny Pacquiao for the belt rather than just fighting for the name? Either way, it's a win-win for Errol Spence because Manny Pacquiao is indeed a legend, and he'll have Manny Pacquiao on his record. So when the debate come up once again for Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford resume, even though Errol Spence is only 9-0 as a welterweight, people say, well, he got Manny Pacquiao. You're right. Blue chip. You're right. But Manny Pacquiao is 43 years old, damn near, and he has 7 defeats with 62 victories. Manny Pacquiao is on the verge of having his 70 plus professional fights. So the only thing I'm saying is, how much credit do you give Errol Spence fighting Manny Pacquiao with no belt, or the Manny Pacquiao with the WBA title, which leads him closer to fighting Terrence Crawford for the undisputed welterweight titles? That makes more sense to me, right? It should make more sense to y'all. So it makes no sense to just say, oh, let me just fight Manny Pacquiao for the name. I don't know, man. Team Bud over here. Yeah, that's time. Yeah, that's me. All right. Is my IG handle. Okay, yeah. I know, but it'd be people on there using other people's damn icon. Okay, I got you. The EJ over here, the real pound for pound king. So if he's a real pound for pound king, why he behind Alexander Usyk there, Deshaun? Explain that shit to me real right quick, like. Why he behind Alexander Usyk? I have nothing against Spence. I feel like he has been ducking Terrence Crawford. Okay. You know what I'm saying? That's what we try to tell him. We have nothing against Errol Spence. He just be talking crazy sometimes. It goes from 70-30, 80-20. You know, just crazy shit. That's all we talking about. 21 strong in the building. What's good? My bad, team EJ. Honestly, and neither Bud or EJ is ducking each other, but there's ego involved. So they talking about strap season, making money together, and all this other stuff, right? So once again, amongst black fighters, for sure, you got to let the grudges go and fight these other black fighters and stop holding them like it's a penalty and shit. Like Charlo got to let the shit go with Andre just because he switched up at the last minute and want to sign and try to get more money and all this. You got to stop penalizing other black fighters as if it's punishment, and then you step in the ring with somebody else that really isn't a bigger name than the fighter that you've been motherfucking ostracizing and keeping in detention. We got to move past that, because it's very rare where we have the Errol Spence and Sean Porter fights. Very rare that we have 2 black fighters in the ring. There's big names. Why do you think it's so difficult for this fight to happen? You're talking about the global sport of boxing. The global sport of boxing, y'all. The only 2 black fighters that's in the top 5 on the pound for pound. And they just so happen to be in the same division. And we can't get a fight? We can't get a fight? We might see a Nui fight Casemiro or a Bali and fuck around and unify the bantamweight division. Who's gonna take him out the motherfucking number 2 spot? But we have Spence and Crawford both on the pound for pound list, and they can't fight each other. Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin fought each other at 60. Wasn't they both on the pound for pound list at the same time? Right? How many other, I mean, what are we talking about? Pacquiao, he floated in and out. We had one Francisco Estrada, you know, he's right there behind Lomachenko, according to the way you look. You got Vasil Lomachenko behind Teofimo. You got Teofimo sitting at 6, depending on where you look. But I'm just saying, how many black fighters do you see on the pound for pound list? Tell me. Is Jermell Charlo on the pound for pound list yet? It's just a question. Is Jermell Charlo, if Jermell Charlo beat Brian Castano, are they going to put him on the pound for pound list? But I can tell you this, when Tyson Fury defeated Deontay Wilder, the Boxing Writers Association of America, they showed up put Tyson Fury on the pound for pound list after defeating Deontay Wilder. And he never defended the title in his boxing career. That's why I'm telling you. How can you have two black fighters on the pound for pound list and they can't fight each other? But when Tyson Fury defeat Deontay Wilder, he goes co-op with Teofimo Lopez as fighter of the year. But before that, the naysayers and cowards was up here complaining and bickering about what Deontay Wilder hasn't done with his over 5 years of reigning. But then again, he gets defeated by Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury makes the co-op with Teofimo Lopez on the ring mat, a fight of the year. There's no hypocrisy in that with y'all? Okay, I got it. How can you be of little value and then somebody else get the credit as if you was this shining star to begin with? So the halo wasn't as bright when you had it. 10 title defenses and all that. It wasn't as bright. But take a cheat like Tyson Fury, he gets it. He gets the WBC crown, and he's co-op with Teo. Teo deserved to be on there by himself. He defeated the top 2 pound for pound guy, Vasil Lomachenko. He deserved to be on there. But Tyson Fury did not. Nor did he deserve to get placed on the pound for pound list. Honestly, I can neither Bud or EJ. Who pound for pound list we going off of? Because it's ESPN. What the fuck do they know? Well, you got ESPN, you have Ring, you have BWAA. You have plenty. And like I said before, it's ebbs and flows there, Deshaun. It ebbs and flows with the pound for pound. You're right. ESPN, I know they have Crawford pound for pound sometime, and then however they feel it. And then you have the Ring. And then you have BWA. It all depends on where you're looking. Seriously. Who should be? Who should be 21? Are you talking about Jermell Charlo? Are you talking about Tyson Fury? Who should be? It's hypocritical AF. I know what it stands for. To be honest, people hate on Deontay like he did not deserve so much more respect. Yeah, we know that. We absolutely know that. Absolutely hands up in the air with a closed fist. We know that. We know that. But how can you say, okay, you have a one-trick pony. You have a one-trick pony. We heard all the shit. One thing I'm going to try to do is stop repeating all the criticism that was given Deontay Wilder as a champion. Okay? Because that's why he was in arbitration. I think that was the start of him regenerating his return to the sport this entire time. I think it's a blessing in disguise that we had this much time off for Deontay Wilder and his situation, having the toughest fight in his career last year and going through arbitration, having the sense that Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury cannot be without fans. There's no way that fight can happen without fans. So the time was on his side. Now that the arbitration is concluded, now we get down to business and we're having the premier boxing footprints opening back up. We have Vegas opening back up. We supposed to have NYC opening up. We already know the regions that is opening back up. So therefore, it's perfect timing. Now all we need is Wilder to return and get his vengeance on Tyson Fury. That's it. Get his belt back, shake up the motherfucking world, and then goddamn call out Anthony Joshua, step up to the plate. Shut down the UK boxing for good. Deontay, get this motherfucking title back and go up here. And once again, let's get Eddie Hearns on the line and have Anthony Joshua fight Deontay Wilder once and for all. It'll shake up boxing. It'll shake. He already shook up boxing with the arbitration. Male. Okay, 21 said male. It's according to who you talk to, man. You know, like most of the individuals that was in the top 5 previously, you know, recently was multi-division champions. All right. It's much different now. You even had Artur Beterbiev on the pound for pound over there at one point in time. And you have Gennady Golovkin sitting over there with his IBF title for whatever reason. You have Vasyl Lomachenko and Alexander Usyk. Depending on where you look, they're on the pound for pound list with no titles. Why? Alexander Usyk, when you vacated the cruiserweight titles and came over here and fought Witherspoon and Dan Chisora, why are you still on the pound for pound list though? Vasyl Lomachenko, it took you half a fight to get started, and then you end up losing. Why are they still depicting Vasyl Lomachenko on the pound for pound list? Let me just double check, because you know sometimes things change, man. Sometimes things change. Let me just start off with, while we got time, let me just start off with the ring while we have time. That's all. I just want to start off with the ring. That's all. Let me see what it looks like. Oh, shit. You know what? I'm going to share screen right quick. Hold up, Shouty. Hold up, Shouty. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about right here. Shit's always switching up. So check this out right here, man. Check this out. So check this out right here. This is the ring ratings. Okay. Canelo, Inoue, Terrence at 3rd, which that's pretty much been the slot, right? All 3 of these right here, Canelo, Inoue, and Crawford, multi-division champions. Okay. Multi-division champions, I say again. Multi-division champions. Number 4, he has those belts no longer. Why are you here? Errol Spence, unified champion, welterweight. Teofimo, same thing. Single division for Errol Spence, single division for Teofimo Lopez, but he is the undisputed at 135, unified, whatever you want to call it. Now, what they just did was move Juan Estrada in front of Lomachenko when he defeated Chocolatito. So now they have inserted one Francisco Estrada, who was down here in the bottom 3 for the longest. Juan Estrada was 8, 9, 8, 9. He finally, you know, he won, but I thought Chocolatito won. They moved him in front of Vasyl Lomachenko. Number 8, Lomachenko, why are you here? You have no belts, bro. You don't have the ring. You don't have the lineal. You don't have shit. Why are you on this list? Check this out. Josh Taylor, 17-0. He's on the pound for pound list. How in the hell that this went down? Number 10, Kazuto Joka. Okay. There go the ring mag right there. So let me pull up the BWAA, Boxing Writers Association of America. Let's look at their pound for pound list. Number 1, Canelo. So automatically this shit haven't been updated. They still have him at 1 defeat. I can't take this serious. I'm not going to do the WCS supporters that injustice. So I'm moving on to ESPN. I don't know who's over there, but somebody must have been let go, furloughed, put on suspension, something. Let's go to ESPN pound for pound. Let me take this comment down from here. So number 1 at ESPN is Terrence Crawford, and we know this has been the case. Okay. Number 2, Canelo Alvarez. 3, Inoue. So the only difference in placeholders is that Terrence Crawford, when it comes to the ring, he's number 3. Canelo is 1. Inoue's 2. So moving on, Errol Spence is number 4, which he's number 5 at ring. Teofimo sits at number 6 at ring, and he's number 5 over here. Okay. They don't have Alexander Usyk, which is common sense, right? They don't have Alexander Usyk at number 5. They don't have Alexander Usyk at number 4. None of that shit. Next, number 6, Tyson Fury. And this is what I'm saying. Like Tyson Fury makes the number 6 pound for pound rankings, and he defeated, Deontay Wilder February last year. But they never had Deontay Wilder on the pound for pound rankings, period. BS. Call it what you know. Oh, they want to highlight that, hey, he defeated Deontay Wilder, who they was calling all this, that, and the other. Bullshit. Now they have Alexander Usyk at number 7. On the ring, they have Juan Estrada. You know what I'm saying? Number 8, Vasyl Lomachenko. Why? They have him with 2 losses. They have his defeat to Teofimo Lopez already. But they still have him ranked number 8, previously ranked number 7. They've moved him down 1 slot. Juan Estrada is above Vasyl Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? Juan Estrada is 7, Vasyl Lomachenko is 8. Juan Estrada over here is 9. And they have his previous win of him defeating Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. They have that shit. These are some different type of individuals right here. Oscar Valdez, two-weight champion, knocks out Miguel Burchelt, and they have him at 10. I'm curious to know how that's possible. Like, I want to say, okay, is it because it's junior lightweight versus bantamweight? But you can't say that because Inoue is bantamweight. But then again, I can say Inoue has more divisions, more championship divisions than Oscar Valdez. That might be it. That's all I can take on that. But it's everywhere. This BWA, this pound for pound list is everywhere. Comparable to the ring, it's all over the place. Man, hell, it's about to become undisputed champion at the Dangerous division. If pull this off for some respect. Man, Mel is about to become undisputed champion in the Dangerous division. If he pull this off some respect. I think Mel is gonna pull this off, man. And I don't see him not pulling it off, to be honest. I don't see him not doing it. Seriously, I don't see him not doing it. But I'm just looking forward to see what he does, you know, how he look in the fight. I'm really looking forward to that fight. And especially he becomes undisputed. That shit's it's solid, man. It's solid. Real talk, it's solid. I thought I had a ill picture up here of Jermell Charlo, you know, taking a picture with his titles. That shit was on point. You know what I'm saying? But hey, y'all know what it is, man. Appreciate you again. I had to jump back on here and talk about this Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao potential. Both of them have it on their social media. Manny Pacquiao dropped it on Twitter first, and then Errol Spence followed up with it. You know what I'm saying? So we'll still wait to see when it's official. Till then, turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. Appreciate everybody pulling up.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters. So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back, just wait and you'll see. Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibrations? I broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try catch me if you can, man. You'll be looking all night, I'm the Sandman. New York, London to Japan. I'ma show the whole world who I am. Boom, boom, boom. Major